Alright everyone, welcome to another review of two. This is the seventh one in this little series. Today I've got these two books. I've got Redline, Super Anime Album, and also Icons. This is basically Jim Lee's art with DC Comics and Wildstorm. Alright, so this book right here is really cool. It was covered previously by probably a lot of other people. Specifically with Sean Thomas, but I really dig this book and this anime. It's really cool. If you haven't seen it, definitely see it. Has very fluid animation, definitely worth a couple watches to catch everything. Um, it's really cool because the way he basically does his fill-ins with his blacks is implemented throughout the whole entire movie, and it's just it's really cool to see how it all works. You know, from a visual standpoint, how all these different filters, all these different layers and whatnot to the each frame of the animation, each shot, and it just makes everything kind of glow and look very smooth. I'd say lots of gradation effects and stuff like that, lots of lighting, and each animation is very smooth as well, very buttery smooth. I'd say if you blink, you'll miss something very fast. But this guy has a really cool style. I hear he might have been inspired by some of the American comic books from back in the day, and like the Jack Kirby's and whatnot. Those type of people who imitated him and stuff, implementing a lot of different dark shadows and blocking them in the way that he does. And now you have Takeshi Koike basically doing that with his art style. Pretty sure he's also inspired by forget his first name, but Kawajiri, the guy who directed Ninja Scroll, did a Running Man from like this old school compilation animation film, which I believe was, I can't remember the name of it, but I believe it also had a lot of other dope people in there. It's like three. It's like Otomo, it's like Kawajiri, and what's the name of the guy? His name is starts with an R. Rintaro. Yeah. And those are all really respectable anime directors right there. But I really liked how this all came together. I know he has another art book out, which might be a bigger book, but it's really cool to just see all these different snippets from that animation in general. His character design sheets are definitely one of the most memorable ones. I've seen a lot of different character design sheets, and they all kind of have the same things, about 5 to 6 different headshots, turnarounds and whatnot. But it's more of a let's pay attention to line quality type thing, and then add some shadows in there, like blue or whatever, be even gray. But he's like silhouetting most of his shadows as black, so it stands out. It's very bold and it's very stylish. It's very stylish feel to it. Kind of like the guy who worked on Aeon Flux, Peter Chung, I think his name was. It's very cool style. Yeah, this book is just great. If you haven't seen this anime, definitely watch it. It's definitely worth picking up. I myself kind of learned a lot of different things from this guy in general, as far as like how he blocks in his shapes and why they work with his style so well. So I kind of study a lot of these things from this book. I'm always kind of flipping through, trying to learn more about the how these things basically work and why they're appealing to me as a viewer of it, not to originator or creator of it in general, so I know how to implement it into my own art. So I also draw. Yeah, this book I believe is only available on soft cover. Yes, I definitely have the cover for this book. I just have it off of the book so that it won't get damaged. Um, and same thing with the other book here. I'll definitely have links in the description for you guys to check out this book on Amazon and go ahead and buy it if you haven't already. Great anime. Alright, so here is basically Jim Lee's artwork for DC Comics and his Wildstorm project. I really dig Jim Lee as an artist. It's very strong with his line work, his quality. He's very iconic himself at this point. Like the way he draws basically Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman is basically I don't know, it's how I want him to look. His style, the way he draws it, that's actually what I want it to look like. And of course you got a lot of people who are like, they'd rather see the Frank Miller version of Batman and stuff like that. I get that. That's your preference. But I don't know. I've seen a lot of Jim Lee's art growing up, like on advertisements and whatnot, shoes and book bags, and I don't know. I'm used to it, and after seeing a lot of different random interviews with him, things he says about like how he learned and whatnot, I really respect him as an artist in general. Pushed himself to become great within a year, and he actually, obviously he drew before then, but he actually achieved what he was trying to do. He got a shot to get work and started from there. I believe he studied Bridgman a lot as well to learn a lot of his basic shapes and structures for his anatomy. And also, I don't know if it's his pencils, or if he sometimes inks sometimes too. I think he does with microns, but just the way that he figures out the exact amount of like dark and light he needs to make something pop out and also look like it's his. Like he probably spends a long time kind of just figuring out how to plan out these shadows and everything, because with American comic style art, or when you're, I guess, coloring your own line work, you have to always figure out how much detail do you put into a illustration or a picture before it gets too detailed, where the colorists can't really do much to save it. His work it's not over detailed in my opinion, because I think like his older art might have been over detailed, but now that he's a lot older, well, this stuff is mainly from like the 2010s and stuff like that. But at that point, he's been drawing comics for a long time, so he knows how to pull back at this point and make his art a lot more beautiful and just come off as a lot more appealing to the eyes. I noticed that he also basically plays around with like a lot of different things, like using different types of inks, like white ink and everything like that, tone paper. His Joker looks really interesting. I don't see anyone else exaggerating the Joker like that. I don't necessarily like it fully, but definitely say his Joker looks like his Joker, not anyone else's. But as you can see, probably this book is really cool. It's definitely worth checking out. I have a very open mind when it comes to comic work in general, comic art. So that's why you'll see me cover things from like anime related things, manga related things, comics, animation, probably on this channel if I'm doing like a review of flip throughs, art books and whatnot like that. very open-minded to a lot of different styles and whatnot. It's really cool. I always like to get a glimpse of how people panel. Of course, the best way to do that is to just buy the comic and study from it. But this book has a lot of good content in it. You got your Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, got some Green Lantern stuff going on, some Justice League stuff. Lots of different, like I said, experimental things with like ink, splattering white ink over it and everything. Of course, later on you're going to get to a lot of the Wildstorm stuff, which is really interesting because I don't think I was that old at that point, but I remember Grifter. I actually have a Grifter comic like in my house, in this place somewhere. It's really interesting. I didn't get to read it all the time, but you get to check out a few issues here and there. And it was Gen 13, and remember, I think Wildstorm had like a cartoon at one point. Deathblow. I saw this. It looked kind of like a almost black and white, kind of looked like this most of the time. I think it's very interesting how he basically started to really get experimental with how he would do these little jagged shapes and whatnot in his art. It's a very kind of different style, in my opinion, than what he's usually done. Looks more like his Marvel stuff. Stormwatch. And this is pretty cool. Yeah, I believe this book is only available in hardcover. So if you guys get the chance, definitely buy this book. It's a little older, so you'll probably be able to get it cheaper than what it used to cost. And I don't think that they're probably out of print or anything yet. But it definitely is an older book. Yeah. Obviously, if you're a fan of Jim Lee, probably already have it, but get this book if you are. You're a fan of comics in general and want to see some iconic imagery and someone who's probably studied a lot of the greats as their work was slightly still relevant before they, weren't relevant anymore. Check out some Jim Lee artwork. He definitely had to learn a lot from them in order to become who he is now. So yeah, respect that guy as an artist, and I'm always looking forward to anything else he does next. So yeah, I'll definitely be sure to leave links in the description to be able to get this book. Again, I believe it is only available in hardcover. Cover does not look like this, but you'll see when you check the link out. This is a review of 2, and I'll see you all later.